Hey folks, welcome back to Hopped Up Beer Review. Tonight we've got an interesting one. We're going to go visit El Segundo Brewing Company out of El Segundo, California, and have the Steve Austin's Broken Skull American Lager.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give your unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer we are drinking and reviewing. Appreciate you checking out this video. If you've not done so, take a moment and be sure to like, subscribe, and cheers that notification bell. We would appreciate it, and it helps out the channel and is free to do. I've got Andy in the attic. I've got Jay. I am Ben. What in the world are we drinking today?
What in the world?
Steve Austin's Broken Skull American Lager. And I thought about this. You know who we should have had on for this? Ty. One of our good friends. As much as he loves wrestling, this would have been a good one for him. Oh well. Shout out to Ty.
What do we need Ty when we already have our poor man Steve Austin on the show?
Right?
No.
Can you give us
Can you give us a finger point though? Can you do this? I mean, I think it's as close as we're going to get, right?
Wait, because who said so?
Jay, I think if you would just get pumped like Steve Austin, you could probably be a Steve Austin impersonator. Maybe? No?
I don't know that I want to spend that much time on my upper body.
I don't blame you.
It's too fluffy.
So all your time spent on the lower body.
I'm flippy up top. Wait.
All right, so
but I'm an Adonis below the belt.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates. Oh my goodness.
Andy's gonna rate this one like on the wall of fame.
This is amazing.
Oh gosh.
All right. As the name states, it's an American lager at 4.8%. It's brewed with American grown barley and hops. It did not indicate which barley, which hops, or which style. As we can see on the name of the can and the picture, it's a collaboration beer with Stone Cold Steve Austin, a WWE wrestler, originally WWF, WWE, whose real name is Stephen James Anderson, born December 18th, 1964. Sorry to ruin it for those who truly believe his name is Steve Austin. This lager was first released in March of 2022. The first beer, there's other beers that Steve Austin has lent his name to with El Segundo. And the first was the Broken Skull IPA in 2014. It was line.
Did you just say line?
I said, "Oh Lord, no." That's like, yeah, because I can't read my lines.
Very scripted show we have here, obviously.
This was late, and I was tired. It was, I guess, a version of their. He was a fan. That's right. Steve Austin was a fan of their Mayberry IPA, El Segundo's Mayberry IPA, and so they had started having conversations, and then decided to do a collaboration, and that's how they got this Broken Skull line. Broken Skull Ranch is a place in Tilden, Texas that Steve Austin owns. There was a series television series that aired about 10 years ago, I think, called The Broken Skull Challenge. And that Steve Austin got these people to compete in these physical events for money. Now, the show made people think that they were at the Broken Skull Ranch in Tilden, Texas, where actually they were at this place in California. So it was actually filmed in, Lord, they all sound the same, California land.
I mean, Steve Austin don't want people know where he lives. I mean, right?
Well, I mean, they know where he lives. You just can't get on the property.
Yeah, exactly.
So El Segundo Brewing Company is a microbrewery founded in 2011 in El Segundo, California.
Yep.
The founder's name is Rob Croxall. He was a beer lover and brewer. And he actually had a career in aerospace financing. And he left that to establish this microbrewery.
Yeah, so El Segundo is known for aerospace and defense, just southwest of LA.
Okay. It's in Los Angeles County.
Mm-hmm.
The city was named in 1917. Now, the name El Segundo is Spanish for the second, like 2 ND, second. And my first impression was the second, like Second Amendment, like live free or die type of New Hampshire thing, rights. No, it was in reference to Standard Oil's second refinery in California, Standard Oil now being Chevron. So the town developed the name after the refinery from Standard Oil.
Yeah. Now the biggest industry is aerospace and defense right there. And LAX is just right outside of it.
Interesting.
LA Air Force Base is there, along with the Space and Missile Systems Center.
And Jay, you brought this up earlier, which on their website, they did not indicate. They made it seem like everything was done in El Segundo. But when you looked at the can, Jay discovered that
it's brewed by
canned,
Two Roads.
Two Roads Brewing Company out of Stratford, Connecticut. I mean, Steve,
just
Austin,
all roads.
You're in California, you're in Connecticut, might as well be New York City, Steve Austin. Who is this guy?
Talking about between the wrestling, the Texas, the California, and now Connecticut. Yeah, it's just all fake.
Know your base,
man. I think you're missing out, Jay. I think if I had those looks, I'd be pumping some iron. Just saying.
Yeah.
All right, who has had this one before?
I don't think any of us.
Nobody.
Yeah, I haven't had it.
Well,
yeah.
But our friends at FLX have.
Okay, nice. Dan and Mike, FLX Beer Reviews. Go check them out. We'll put the link down below in the description. They do a good job. We may even link their review, so you can go check that out after we're done here. All right. I'm inclined to let the Steve Austin lookalike go last here today.
Okay.
So,
I was about to say, you're going to make him go first.
Andy, what do you think?
Honestly, it's really not a bad beer. I came into this with such low expectations, but I've never had anything else from El Segundo. So I was basing it mainly on the guy who wastes Coors Light in the ring. Oh, is that Coors Light was what he usually brings, or is he? Yeah. And most of it, by the time it gets into his goal, it's like all foamy, so it'd make me want to just like belch up. But I'm like, This is like a pretty good American lager. It has got more flavor, a little more malt character than your other macros. Um, I'm pleased. It's a filler beer. This would be excuse me, a a yard beer after a run beer. Hmm. Yeah, it's a lot better than I was anticipating. 6.5. I don't really can't say much more about it because it's just a lager.
All right, I will jump in there and go. So before I give my thoughts, I want to lay out my view here as I'm looking at the camera and talking to you. So for our show, I do the screen that I'm looking at has all four of us that you see, and then I have the image of whatever we're looking at from the can on this other screen. And so with that, I've got Stone Cold Steve Austin pointing right at me in a very large screen. So I'm kind of inclined to give this beer a little bit better score than maybe I would be otherwise. We'll see. Um, I'm with you, Andy. Though it's definitely more than I expected. Now, what did I expect? I expected very little, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
So I think for me, given that it's okay. It's one of those I don't have to have again. If somebody gives it to me, I'll drink it. I may even pick it out of a cooler with other macro style beers. Um, but that being said, I see it somewhere. I'm not buying this again, right? Um,
Yeah. Oh yeah, I had that.
yeah, I've had that. It's and I'd be interested in trying the IPA, and just because of the whole, you know, because of the whole wrestling show and entertainment factor, I'd be willing to try the IPA just for that reason alone. Um, I think for me though, this one's probably I'm gonna say it's a 6. I mean, again, it's okay. I like it better than some of course, macros that we've had, and that's not hard to beat. But I think just solely on the fact that I'm getting pointed at over here on a big screen, and it is a little bit better than I expected. I'm going to give it a 6.
I was expecting to be watered down. It just doesn't have that watered down
Yeah,
feel. It's got the
no.
maltiness to it.
Yeah,
It's got a
it's got
really
the
good
flavor.
flavor.
It just doesn't have, yeah, it's not watered down.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is. I mean, we can say it all day long. It's an American lager at 4.8%. You're not going to expect
Yeah,
too much of that. I mean, that's typically what we would get in your Bud Light, your Michelob Light, or Miller Light, whatever you're going to get in those. So it's stuff that we grew up with. The thing I like about this, and I honestly expected more like you guys, just to be a gimmicky type thing and not be anything flavorful, but it's full of flavor. Um, I think Andy's right. I mean, it's got the malts in there and not watered down at all. It's pretty easy drinking. Um, so I'm very pleased with the way it turned out. Uh, I'm with you, Ben. I'd like to just try the IPA just to say. I think they did a regular IPA. I think they did a double IPA all under the Broken
Yeah,
Skull
they got
collab
two
with
IPAs.
El Segundo. So if I see those, I might try and pick them up for us. If not, but um, uh, I was looking, trying to remember. I haven't logged anything from the brewery, but I know I've been there on one or two of my trips out to LA, LA Air Force Base. That's typically where I go when I go there. I just go south of LA. I don't ever go into LA proper. Um, and it's good. Um, I, I would say you could use it as a filler beer, but I don't think you'd want to use it as a filler beer because it costs too much. It's one of those type things. It's not going to be like a Natural Light or Coors Banquet or something like that that you could get for cheaper. So, um, I think I'm right there with Andy. I'm probably going to go about 6.5 on this one.
Yeah, and I don't think I'd want to use this as a filler beer either, because I'd be afraid if I poured some of it out, Stone Cold might actually come to my house and body slam me. So, I mean, that would
You
be
do a
afraid of that.
stunner.
I mean, I don't know the wrestling terms here, so
No, that's his signature move.
yeah. So anyway, so yeah, I wouldn't want to do that.
How would you not know that?
I wouldn't know. Sorry. That will be a 6.3 for the Steve Austin Broken Skull American Lager from El Segundo Brewing Company. Definitely gave us a little more than we were expecting, I think, collectively. We can say that. If you had it, if you have, let us know what you think about it. Leave us a comment down below below the description. Also, come check us out on all our social media links down below. We've got a bunch of those. You can come say hey on any of your favorite platforms. Come say hey on our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server. It's a chat room. I promise you there will be no stunners in there. Is that stunner? Is that what you said? Yeah. We won't be doing any of that kind of tomfoolery there, but we do other kinds of tomfoolery, I guess, maybe. If you have any interesting Hopped Up Beer Review merch, we got a link down below. You can get you a glass, you can get you a shirt, you can get you a koozie, anything with our amazingly awesome logo on it. And if you have any interest in any of the glassware or any of the items that we've kind of picked up from Amazon to either use for glassware or to record this show, there's a link down below for that as well. You can check that out also. With that, one of us is going to like just dump this out on our heads, right? That's what we're doing here?
Yeah, go right ahead.
I don't even know. But my camera's going to think that I'm doing that. So.
You're the one that's going to dump.
I mean, come on, stop. There we go. Yeah, I'm the loser. If you want a camera that will zoom in on your face, the link is down below. For Andy and the Attic.
Cheers,
Danny,
mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers.